Good afternoon, good evening everyone, it's Weather United here, and in today's video we're updating you on the cold Arctic air that is coming in out of the north over the next 3 to 6 days. Might feel like winter for some locations. Now before I do get started, if you're new to the channel and you really like the detailed weather updates that I do present, make sure you do subscribe, hit that like button, and share this video with your family and friends on social media. So here's a look at the United States current weather map that I always like looking at the beginning of my videos, and we can see that there is a little bit of monsoon action going on across the four corners, and we can basically see it pretty well here on the visible satellite imagery with percolating convection, thunderstorms, some high-based activity going on, trying to kick up some dust down there across portions of Nevada and also for the high country of the Sierra. This is not typical for early to mid-October. We should start already thinking about the monsoon leaving our area, but thanks to this ridge of high pressure, folks, it's going to stay around for a few more days with well above average temperatures. And of course, you go back east, it's a whole different story. We are seeing this northwesterly flow really keep on going, and it's helping to bring in some of that cooler air. And I'll tell you what, it's going to get a lot cooler than this that you're about to see here on the models. So here's a look at that European model for October the 10th, 2022. And we can see we have a lot of red colors, and that indicates temperatures are going to be above average, anywhere between 5 to 15 degrees out there for many areas. So yes, you could complain and understand and leave a comment saying, hey, it's really warm up here in Minnesota, or it's really warm up here in the Dakotas, versus climatological speaking. But changes are coming. Please understand that. So let's go forward here. We can see by Thursday morning, 3 days out, we got temperatures near average across the Great Lakes into the northern tier of the United States, just about average roughly, except for a few states here, like if you're in Nebraska, if you're in Iowa, temperatures are going to be about a few degrees above normal for your Thursday. But then look at this. Welcome more cold air into your forecast. In 84 hours, big blast of air coming in out of Canada. And so that's going to bring your temperatures down to about 5 to 15 degrees below average, below your climatological averages, which again is what you're seeing here. And then really warm across the western half of the U.S. Things could continue out to day 5 with those temperatures below average across the eastern half, and then another blast. This is probably the bigger of the last couple that you're going to deal with here. This is for early next week, and yeah, the latest European model is going pretty wild with this. Temperatures could be anywhere between 10 to perhaps 20 degrees below average. And yeah, if you're really specific, boy, Western Texas, you're going to have temperatures on the order of maybe 20 degrees below average. And yeah, your daytime highs there in early to mid-October, you're seeing daytime highs in the upper 40s. I mean, what the heck is going on? You don't typically see that. You don't. So it's going to be much cooler than average for a lot of locations by the early part of next week. So if you thought it's cool now, well, it's going to get a lot cooler than this by the middle of next week. The GFS model is also agreeing on the same thing. Let's go into early next week, and we can see there is our patch of cold air. Yeah, look at that. For Western Texas, we looked at it on the European. It is also similar on the GFS, and a lot of blue colors. Yeah, all right. Well, more warmer than average temperatures for the Pacific Northwest and also for Western Canada, and that's because of the ridge. I'm just going to call it the ridge because temperatures are going to be well above average. It's summer-like in portions of the Pacific Northwest and Western Canada, when you should typically be liking your heavy coats. You should already be inside. You should already be seeing snow. Well, you're not going to be seeing a lot of snow on the GFS model by the middle of next week. So just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind too, we're also keeping an eye on the chances for some snow out of early next week's weather system. Not this week, but next week. So let's forward this right in really quickly. Of course, we got our first system that is going to be dropping in from the Great Lake, or out of the northern portion of Canada, southern Canada. We're going to bring in moderate to light to moderate showers, maybe some thunderstorms, marginal risk for severe weather. So maybe some damaging winds and some large hail associated with this front, but no tornado chances just yet. But then, yeah, what is this up here? What is this? That's snow. You're probably wondering, right? Maybe some lake effect rain showers, not snow this time, just a lot of rain coming down because of the lake waters. And the lakes are really warm this time of the year, so you're not going to see quite a lot of snow just yet. And then by early next week is when you get your next system. And yeah, we do get a little bit of snow out of this, just a hair in some areas, but a lot of the snow is going to stay in Canada, thank goodness, just depending on what model you look at. But I'll tell you, it's looking pretty a little wild, just kind of a little change to the atmosphere. Your leaves are turning orange, and yes, the vibrant, cooler air is gonna really make things even more fall and winter-like. Why is this? Everyone's asking. Well, you can blame it on the jet stream at 500 millibars. Here's a look at that flow on the European model. Take note, very, very strong screaming northwest flow by Wednesday, all right? And that trough brings in cooler air, and you could really, really see this is very dynamic. I mean, absolutely dynamic to the point. That's why you're going to get unsettled weather. The temperatures are going to be much cooler than average. And I mean, if we take a look at our height anomaly, this is a big deal. That is well below average in terms of your heights. Your heights in the atmosphere, the topographical map. So when you get these blue colors, that indicates unsettled weather, that indicates cooler than normal temperatures, and that indicates very cool, bittery nights ahead too. Look at this. I mean, for Wisconsin, you're going to have temperatures in the 20s and 30s for the end of this week. Yeah, you're dealing with temperatures that are pretty mild, but won't be so mild in a few days or so by the end of this week. Going to be a whole different ball game, thanks to with what we have going on with the jet stream. And then by next week, we get a reinforcement with another trough that dips down, and that's just going to reinforce the cooler air. So it's going to just make it feel cooler than what it already is. And by this time, you should be already used to it. But when we take a look at our height anomaly forecast, definitely below average in terms of those temperatures, and that really carbon copies with what the surface is going to look like, those cooler than normal temperatures that are anticipated with, yes, maybe some 20s overnight in the northern portion of the US. So while we're not talking a lot about rainfall or active sky conditions, we're talking about a huge change with temperatures in the long term or in the medium range forecast kind of standpoint. But the question is, could there be changes by the end of October? Well, we'll have to really wait and see in my future videos, and probably we'll look at the ensemble guidance tomorrow in my next video. So stay tuned for that, folks. But anyways, if you did like today's video, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Be sure you do follow me here on YouTube. You could follow me on Twitter. You could follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Not very active on TikTok, by the way, but hey, follow me there because maybe I'll do something for you all that do follow me on TikTok. But otherwise, you can follow me on all of my social medias, including our Weather United Discord server. Go check that out. There's a link in the description below this video. But until next time, I'll be back with you more tomorrow with another update on the weather forecast.